I know. Yes. Okay, Masters. So first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Brahma Shri Pitama Patriji for paving this spiritual path for all of us. And I would also like to thank Shalaji for guiding us all this through for this meditation program. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So let's begin, my dear Masters. Sit in a comfortable position. Sit straight wherever you feel comfortable. Cross your legs. Clasp your hands. And close your eyes. If you're wearing glasses, please remove them. Before we get into the meditation, let's relax our mind by taking 3 deep breaths. So while you inhale, imagine you're breathing in fresh air. And while you're exhaling, imagine all your tensions are being released. So let's take a deep breath in. Breathe out. One more deep breath in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe out. Now let's take one more step ahead to relax our body. We'll be focusing on each and every part of our body and release them. What are the tensions, blocks we have? We're going to release them. So let's start from the head to toe. Please bring your awareness to the head. Just relax your head. Bring your awareness to the neck. Relax your neck. Just relax yourself. Don't keep it stiff. Relax your shoulders. Relax your upper arm, your upper back, your chest, your lower arms, your wrist, your fingers, and your nails. Relax your lower back, your hip, your thighs, your knees, your legs, ankles, your feet, and the toes. Just imagine the whole body, every part of your body is completely relaxed. Just be in that moment for a while. My dear masters, let's get into our meditation now. Gently bring your awareness to your nostrils and keep observing your simple, natural, and tranquil breath. Thoughts might come, but do not run away with the thoughts. Just observe your breath. My dear masters, forget all that happened during the day. Just be in the present, be in the moment, be with your natural breath. Don't chant any mantra or japa. Just observe your simple, natural breath. If you are slouching, push yourself back and keep your spine erect. And no matter what, keep your eyes closed. My dear masters, do not force your breath. Keep breathing naturally. We are now going deep into the meditation. So keep observing your breath. When you are with the breath, mind becomes empty. A lot of cosmic energy gets into your mind or body. Just keep observing the breath. My dear masters, thoughts might come, but do not drift away with the thought. Sit down and bring your awareness back to your breath. By doing meditation every day, we attract health, wealth, peace, and prosperity. So, my dear masters, be with your breath. By observing our breath, we become one with the breath. We become one with all. Life becomes blissful. Just observe your breath. By doing meditation every day, we become positive, calm, and compassionate. My dear masters, spread the love and positivity and keep observing your breath. Observing our breath helps us keep grounded. So just be with your simple, natural, and tranquil breath. By doing meditation every day, we'll be in complete awareness. We start to live in the moment. Just keep observing your breath. My dear masters, let us come back to our awareness. Gently rub your hands and put it on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now slowly open your eyes and look at your hands with a beautiful smile.
Thank you. Thank you for this beautiful deep meditation today. Thank you, Renukaji.
Thank you. Thank you, Shailesh.
Okay. If all the masters are out of meditation now, then we can start the topic for today.
Now, my dear friends, so let's begin our topic for today, which is very close to me, which is food and plant-based living. So let me share my screen.
Your presentation is already here.
Okay, let me take this control. Can I go to the next slide? Yeah. So what is food? When you think of food, what comes to your mind? Just take a moment and think about it. I know some of you might be thinking about samosas, some of you might be thinking of burgers, right? Some of you might be thinking about idli dosa, but any one of you thought about fruits and vegetables? Right? Anyways, but food gives us energy, which helps, it's like a fuel. It helps us to perform all day-to-day activities. Right? In Ayurveda, they say like food is a consciousness. Food is a divine consciousness. And they say food is necessary not only to sustain life, but also to maintain an optimal quality of life so that we can perform our dharma or life's purpose. How does that happen? Right? Because they recognize food as energy. And it's a divine consciousness. So when we think about divine consciousness, what comes to our mind? So let's take a look. Can I go to the next slide? Yeah. Have you ever thought about it? Like food and water carries emotions and affects our wellness. So let's take a look at this picture here. So they did a study on the water and the food as well. So this is the molecular structure of the water. So they take a picture when you say thank you to water. When you say positive words to the water, what happens? Because we don't know, I never heard that water carries emotions. But look at the molecular structure of this water here. So when you say thank you, the molecular structure is so beautiful, it's like a flower, right? And when you say I love you, look at this, it's very beautiful, it's like a flower. When you say positive words, you can see the actual structure of it. But when you see, look at the quality of water before prayer and after prayer, what is the transformation, how it changed, right? It all depends. So that's why it's very important when we eat or drink food or water, always show gratitude. Always say thank you. Always offer prayer before you eat anything. Because we don't know what emotions it carries, right? We don't know where it's coming from. And if you look at the left side of the screen, there are organs and emotions, how it is affecting. Every emotion, it blockages in our body, in our parts of the body, and it creates some illness. Like if you're always angry, so it's affecting your liver. And when you always worry, overthink about something again and again, keep worrying, it damages your spleen, it damages your digestive system, right? And when you like become impatient, anxiety, like anxious, it affects your heart. So there are so many emotions which can affect each of your organs. So that's why very important. When you're eating, be present, right? So let's go to the next slide. Have you ever thought eating some foods makes us happy and eating some other foods make you lethargic, sleepy, and some like gives you refreshment? You will become more energetic. Have you ever differentiated, right? I know I have experienced this so many times. When I eat fresh fruits and vegetables, like I'll be so alert, so energetic. But when I eat something like idli dosa in the morning with a lot of oil, obviously you will feel sleepy, lethargic. And sometimes when you eat different kind of vegetables, like different kind of meat or something, animal-based food, your emotions will be different, right? So we know now food is energy, food is consciousness, food is divine. But eating and cooking is also an art. So that's why it's very important when you're eating, be present. Like practice mindfulness eating. And a lot of us we see, if you see, like maybe you're doing the same thing, like I have done the same thing in the past. When we eat, we'll be watching TV, we'll be talking to others. We're not present. We're not looking at what we are eating. We're just grabbing, talking to people. We're not focusing. So we don't know what we are eating, right? But start paying attention to what you're eating. Enjoy every bite of it. Then you will feel the joy. It will send you the happy hormones to your mind. You will feel happy. You will become blissful, right? And same thing when you drink water, be present. I always do. I learned this from somebody, like when I was hearing somebody, like I felt it. It's so thankful because when I heard about like water and food carries emotion, I started to offer the prayers. Because let's imagine, for a week you eat good cooked food by your mom or somebody at home. How do you feel? And start eating 1 week in a restaurant and see how you feel. Do you feel a difference? Obviously, right? What is the difference there? Because when others are cooking, we don't have control. We don't know what they're going through. Maybe they had a very bad day, they went through some disagreement with their partner or somebody. So they're putting their all emotions into the food they're cooking for you. And when you eat that food, you carry that emotions. And after eating, you will feel discomfort. You will not feel that energy in your body that you're supposed to have after eating food. But same thing, when your mom cooks food and you eat that food, it's totally different. You will not have that same feeling, right? So I had a story like how it affects the food that we eat, the thoughts, right? And there is a Rishi Muni, and he went to a Brahmin, like one of the couple who are Brahmins, like, and they had a nice feast, very good food, and they served with their good heart. They practiced all like the cleanliness and everything. So they did everything what they're supposed to do, and they had a very good meal. So being a priest, being a Muni, like Rishi, right, Maharishi. So after that, like he was having a feeling, all negative feelings in his mind. He's thinking, oh, that part is not clean, this part is not clean. And he's feeling like stealing something. So he was thinking like why he's getting all these negative feelings, which he's not supposed to have. So then he brought the host, he asked the host, like, where did you bring this food from? Like, where did you bring this rice from? So they said, from my neighbor. So then he asked, bring your neighbor. So they brought the neighbors, and he asked the neighbor, and neighbor said from somebody else. So they went back and back, and they went to the root, like where they brought the grain, and they asked that person, tell me honestly, where did you bring this rice from? So then what he said, you'll be shocked. That person said, I stole this rice. See, since he has stolen that rice, those negative feelings were carrying from that person to person to person and to this priest. So that's why it's very important. Offer the prayer before you eat, because we don't have any control where it comes from. So be thankful. I always say that I'm getting all, like, this food is full of medicinal herbs, all healing herbs that present in this universe are all in this food. And thank you, that food, for giving you complete health. Just show gratitude all the time. You will see a big difference in you. You will see that you're able to digest food, your digestive system, your health is becoming, it's improving. So you will start seeing the difference. I've been practicing, I see the difference in me. So that's why I'm telling you guys, so please do that. Nice. So we talk about so much of stuff about the food, but what choices do we have, right? So let's go to the next slide. Next one. Okay, so we have two choices, plant-based and animal-based. I know most of the people here prefer animal-based food. What is the reason? Mainly for taste and protein. Let's imagine, like you take out all the masala that you put in, that you marinate the meat and everything, and just eat the meat. Do you think you can eat it again? I don't think so, right? So that's why like most of the people prefer to have that taste. But you can get the same taste and protein from the plant-based food as well. Right? So before we move into plant-based food, let's talk about what are the reasons that we shouldn't be eating animal-based food. Right? So first of all, we as humans, our body is not designed to consume meat. It could be our teeth, our intestines, our jaws. We don't have claws, and nothing is meant to design to eat animal-based food because our teeth designed to chew, not tear, right? And the major reason there could be like 5 health problems they said by eating meat, dairy, and eggs. So it could be cardiovascular disease, it could be stroke, and it could be cancer. So it could be colon cancer, prostate, and breast. Obesity. If you see a lot of kids here, they might be 6 or 7, but they look so big because they're being fed constantly this animal-based food, like meat every day. So they're growing fast. And a lot of people are suffering from type 2 diabetes. So these are the 5 major health problems that are caused by eating meat, dairy, and eggs. And I heard from one of the person that he said, like he did a lot of study, and he said a lot of the problems with the women are caused by eating and by drinking milk, which is also a dairy product, because we don't know what it's made of. Nowadays, they're not being produced as they're supposed to. Like before, back in the days, 100 years ago, or 1,000 years ago, they're so pure. Everything is so pure. There is no electricity, no pollution, nothing. So everything was so pure. But nowadays, everything is contaminated. So if you look at cows or other animals, they're not mainly grass-fed anymore. They're being fed the hormones, chemical fertilizers, steroids, and so much of like stuff that is not supposed to, that is not healthy for the animals. So that's making them grow fast and produce more milk or more meat, which is not healthy at all. And if you look at one of the documentary I've seen, it was like mind-blowing. I was so emotional looking at that video, right? How the animals are being treated. It could be cows, it could be pigs, anything. They're being treated so ill, they're being tortured constantly. The cows are being raped constantly to become pregnant, to like produce more calves, right? And it was so like, I was so emotional, like I couldn't take it, It was so sensitive. And these animals, they're going through a lot of trauma, a lot of agony, a lot of pain, and they're bringing those emotions. We are taking those emotions by drinking milk, by eating meat, right? So I would highly encourage all of you to watch the documentary. Maybe we'll put the documentary list in the chat box so you can watch that. And I would say, like, what I believe is when we don't have a right to create somebody's life, we don't have right to kill someone else too, right? That's why it's very important. So, but let's talk about plant-based. Now we know why we don't need to eat animal-based food. But do you think eating plant-based food or vegetarian food, are you healthy? No, right? But let's go back to the last slide one time. Eating plant-based food, it raises your consciousness. That's the most important, because WHO Health, like World Health Organization, they did a research and they said by eating plant-based food, it will improve your intellectual health, spiritual health, mental health, physical health, and all kind of health. It brings your consciousness high, because plants and vegetables that are grown in the sunlight, they collect a lot of cosmic energy, and that goes into your body. That will improve your thought process, and that will give you a lot of health and everything, because plants are, they're grown in sunlight, as I mentioned, they give you sun energy. And the plant has chlorophyll, right? They're plant-based, they're living. And some people, they might say, oh, you know what, you're killing animals, but plants are also living beings, like they are living. You say call prana and you're killing them. But plants doesn't have emotions or feelings. So when you cut, when you eat them, so they're not feeling anything. And they can regenerate. If you cut the leaves, it will grow back. So you're not completely destroying it. It can regenerate itself. So you don't have to feel guilt about eating plant-based food, eating fruits and vegetables. And we would highly recommend to eat raw fruits and vegetables, right? Because there is a lot of aura, there is so much vibrant and it's full of colors. When you see your plate, it should be like full of different rainbow colors. You should be eating different colors of food. So that can increase your consciousness again. And there is direct connection between what you eat and what you become, because we are what we eat, right? So that's why it's very important to eat plant-based food. And if you see, there are so many health benefits by eating plant-based food. Just add something like whatever you feel tasty for the animal based, put that masala to your plant, but put less oil, less spices and everything, but it will give you same taste and you will feel wonderful, you'll feel so energetic. So make a switch, make a conscious decision today by switching to plant-based food. Thank you so much for joining the session today. Shailaji, you want to?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Rinpoche. Very nice. I would like to add a couple of things which are slightly related. And usually people do not think about it that way. Now, let me ask you a few things. If we did not have demand for eggs, will we have chickens? Nobody is going to have chickens. Just if there's no demand for eggs, there won't be any poultry. And when there is no poultry, there won't be chickens available for people to eat. And they will become so expensive that people will leave eating chickens. So the problem starts from production of eggs. Similarly, if there is no demand for milk, there won't be enough cows to be butchered. So that's one more thing we have to think about. This whole thing is a chain. It's an industry, it's a chain. And if we keep consuming these kind of things, which we think is okay, eating eggs is fine, drinking milk is okay, it has a chain effect on the entire industry. So if it's plugged at the root, production of eggs, production of milk, if these two things if they go down when there is no demand for these two things, the rest of the chain will automatically fall in place. So this is an idea I just wanted to communicate to everyone. Think about it and educate others on this subject. The other important thing, I probably talked about it during the group consciousness session also, is that when animals are butchered, the consciousness, the group consciousness carries the pain and the suffering, and it trickles down to everyone who is part of that group consciousness. And we receive those pains and suffering, all of us. So it's in the interest of the entire humanity to get this killing process stopped. The sooner, the better. So these two things I wanted to add. Of course, plant-based living is also very suitable for human body. You all know that the process of making the plants healthy is by trimming the plants. So if somebody has this idea of oh, you are cutting a plant, you are killing the plant, those ideas are not really right. Cutting of a plant is actually good for health of the plant, for its growth. That's the reason the cuts from a plant can be very easily consumed. And the important aspect, though, is that before we eat something or before we cook something, we need to provide it our energy, the good energy to it, energy of love, compassion, energy of good vibration to the food before we either we cook or before we consume. So if you go to a restaurant, for example, before you start eating the food, once it is served, you have the possibility of changing the molecular structure, not really molecular, but crystalline structure of the food, because all that food contains water as well. So the crystalline structure of water can be changed by giving it the right energy. So I have done some tests with plants. I didn't have the ability to kind of see the consequence of doing it on water, but I have done it on the plant. Back in the days when I used to do Reiki, I had a plant which was kind of about to die, and I did Reiki to the plant, and you will not, so like this is like 5 years ago, and today that plant has multiplied into something like I have almost 20 babies out of that plant. Like there are 20, it's in 20 pots now. That's how beautifully it has grown. It is healthy, it gives flowers, and it just keeps on multiplying continuously because I just give it love. So with plants, I have done this test that if you give them love, they really blossom, they really prosper, they grow very well, they are healthy. So everything is energy. When we are eating food, we are consuming energy, and that energy goes into our body and transforms into the forms that are necessary for our health. So if we are inputting bad energy, the consequence is going to be bad for our own health. So it is for our own interest that we look into this aspect. That's what I have to say here. If there are any questions, any suggestions, anything you would like to add, please feel free to do so. You can unmute and you can talk. Okay. If there is no question, then we can close our session for today. And then we will get together again tomorrow for our next topic, another beautiful session of meditation. And I want to thank Renuka ji for giving us this beautiful experience of meditation and knowledge today. Thank you, Renuka ji.
Thank you, Shailaji. Thank you, Masters. Thank you.
Thank you, Masters. Have a wonderful night and a restful sleep.